Hi, I'm Wayne and this is Bassador Woodworking. This is a really cheap portable bandsaw that I bought on Amazon, and today I'm going to build a table for it. This Portaband is made by WEN and I bought it on Amazon. At the time of filming this, it retails for about $100 on Amazon, which makes it one of the cheapest options on the market for a portable bandsaw of this size. The closest comparison would be the Harbor Freight Bauer one, which is about $139. There's coupons all the time on it, so you can probably get it roughly the same price. One thing that made me want to opt for this one is that it has an extra ½ inch of cutting depth, so instead of 4.5 inches, this can cut a full 5 inches. I don't know how often that's going to be necessary for me, but for a cheaper price, to have that extra utility is a no-brainer for me. I'm going to try to build this entire project just out of scraps. I don't want to buy an aftermarket table because the cheapest one I found is about $125, which is more than the cost of the saw, and I just can't justify that. So I'm going to make the base of the table just out of some cutoffs from plywood, and then as the tabletop I'm going to use this big metal plate that was the counterweight in a file cabinet, so it didn't cost me anything. It seems pretty stout, so I used to use it as a place to tape sandpaper for like sharpening chisels and stuff like that. But now it's going to just be used as a hopefully bandsaw table. The base is an incredibly simple box made from some scrap 1/2 inch plywood and some pine project boards I had left over. I used wood glue and pin nails to hold everything into orientation. I then cut some small pieces to form an upper lip, which will add some rigidity to the box as well as give me more surface area to attach the metal plate to. I reinforced the joints using wood screws. I then transferred the hole locations from the plate to the box. I could then turn my attention to preparing the plate. I added a countersink to the metal plate that will allow the mounting screws to sit below the surface. This process went well. I just took it slow and used plenty of cutting oil to keep the bit cool as best I could. Now that I have a coat of shellac on the base and it's drying, I can now work out where this saw will mount to the plate. I'm going to just do a kerf cut into the plate however far it makes it, so that the metal plate will be sitting back here. And the mounting mechanism for it will be using these two bolt locations for the throat plate. This is not a terribly heavy saw, so I'm hoping that this will be plenty. I decided that the blade should sit in the center of the plate, so I marked the center with a Sharpie and then used a square to draw a line that I'll follow to create the blade curve. I clamped the saw into my vise and then used it to cut the plate until it was seated all the way in the back of the throat of the saw. I started the saw on a way too low of a speed, but once I increased the speed, it cut through really easily. I then removed the throat plate from the saw and used it to transfer the hole locations. I drilled holes in the plate starting with a small bit and gradually increasing the bit size until I had my final hole size, which ended up being about 1/4 of an inch. I used plenty of cutting oil to keep the bit cool, and then I countersunk the holes the same as I had for the corners. Okay, I have it all dry fitted together. I still have to do the switch and all that stuff, but now I'm going to disassemble it so that I can fill in this hole because I drilled a hole in the wrong place, which mistakes happen. I bought some really big machine screws that I'm going to just cut the threads off of one of them and just weld it in there. I'll then sand everything, and I bought some new enamel to put on this. That way it will at least look nice. But everything mounts up nicely. Everything works, which is great. So now it's just disassembly, fill this hole, and then I can start working on the switch and all that stuff. One thing I'll need to figure out for the future is an easier way to mount this in and out, because changing blades is going to be, like, frankly, a pain in the ass the way that this thing is built. But I haven't seen any really better systems, even like aftermarket ones. You still kind of have to unmount the saw to get it to do what you want. So, we'll figure it out, I guess. I began by using a wire wheel to remove the enamel surrounding the hole, and then put the head of the machine screw into the countersunk hole and tacked it in place with a weld. I then flipped the plate over and filled the hole from the back first before flipping the plate over again to gradually fill the hole, grinding it level between passes with the welder. Yeah, that's about as well as I thought it might go. I'm an absolutely terrible welder, so keep that in mind as you see me struggle with what is probably a very easy operation for even a novice welder. I decided to grind off the remaining enamel on the top plate. I was going to need to do another coat of enamel no matter what, so I figured it'd be easier to just do it all at once. I think I'm squarely within diminishing returns. I could work harder to fill those little gaps, but it's not gonna make a meaningful difference, and it could end up misshaping these holes next to it, so I'm going to call that good enough. Now I'm gonna work on the power switch for the saw when it's bench mounted. I'll just use a zip tie to hold the trigger down. The speed control is really easy to access, even when it's bench mounted, so that's not gonna be a problem. I'm gonna just use this box, gonna mount it in here, and just gonna use a toggle switch to turn it on and off. The wiring of the switch was really simple, and I'm not going to go into that in detail during this video, but put simply, the ground wires are paired and connected, same for the neutral wires. The switch is interrupting the black or hot wires, so when the switch is set to on, the tool has power. When it's switched to off, the tool has no power. Yay, electricity. You could accomplish the same thing by plugging the tool into a power strip and simply turning the power strip on and off. This just looks cleaner. I didn't have a faceplate that would fit my toggle switch, so I drilled a hole in a blank cover. You drill a hole that's about a ½ inch. Test this using this light. Plug the light into the receiving. Turn that off. Plug this into power. Cool. Sit out in the sun. Key. This has to slip into there. So the front back one is caught. So now I can thread in the front one. Tighten. Should lose all bounce it after that. Okay, so now let's make sure this is in the off position. You plug into there. That is strapped down. We'll put this at the first speed. Here. Okay, let's see if it works. Yes. Okay, that works. I'm really happy with the way that this thing turned out. I probably could have let the enamel dry a little bit longer before I started using it, but this is a tool that's meant to be used. I don't mind if every few months I have to throw another coat of enamel on it. Least of my concerns. But I'm super happy with how this turned out. It's gonna add a lot of utility to the shop, and I just can't wait to use it a lot more. I really couldn't justify buying one of the really expensive bases for more than this thing cost. So, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with new projects as they are released. And until next time, thank you.